So the first key fact one needs to understand is the actual location. That Amboina is hugely important in the 17th century. It's a tremendously valuable piece of real estate, and the companies are competing very ferociously to seize control of this particular commodity. Now, the case itself actually starts on the 23rd of February, 1623. A Japanese mercenary called Shichizo is arrested for asking suspicious questions. He's been walking up and down the ramparts, and he's been asking young and inexperienced soldiers how often the guard was changed, and he's been asking them about the defenses of the garrison. The Dutch governor decides that there's something suspicious that's happening here. There's something that needs to be investigated further. Shichizo is then tortured, and he proceeds to confess that he's part of a plot that is orchestrated by English East India Company merchants on the island to seize control of the Dutch fort. Late on the 25th of February, the first English merchant, who's called Abel Price, is arrested and interrogated, and we see the same pattern duplicated again and again across the Amboina incident. Now, there's a number of very interesting stories within these interrogations. We see Samuel Coulson, who will go on to write a secret declaration in a psalm book where he essentially protests his innocence. We see Edward Collins, who it's very unclear whether he was tortured or whether he wasn't tortured. And all of these people are essentially sucked into the Amboina incident. This lasts for about a week. On the 9th of March, the Dutch governor convenes an improvised tribunal of Dutch East India Company judges. They pass a predictable verdict. This is not a surprise to anyone. They decide that yes, the English and the Japanese are guilty, and they decide they must be punished by death. And 10 English merchants and 10 Japanese mercenaries are executed. Now, this brings the case to an end, but in fact, the implications of the case rumble on for decades afterwards. And this is key to understanding the Amboina incident, that essentially news of the Amboina incident reaches Europe at the end of May 1624, sparks outrage, and the companies then proceed to fight over the legality of the case for really the next 30 years.